Well, it's 6 days, 15 hours, 59 minutes now to the presidential and National Assembly elections day. Well, while election fever seems to have gripped the entire country, politicians are going through the final phase of their campaign. Well, that day, the big day, is not that far away. Not anymore. Well, they gladly latch onto anything that will give them an edge. But who will breast the tape first, leading their party to a historic victory? Good evening. Welcome to the program. I'm Chamberlain Uso. Well, quite a number of people are now making a final push to pick up their permanent voter cards. Well, they will also keep an eye on the Independent National Electoral Commission because the deadline for the collection of their PVC is tomorrow. So they will hope and pray, who knows, if the commission will have a further extension. Well, following the IGP's caution to troublemakers or would-be troublemakers, security went about in some parts of the country today doing what they refer to as a show of force. Well, as always, we'll make our rounds with some of our correspondents who will bring us up to the minute concerning the happenings at their location. Let's take you through some of those who will speak to us today. Well, Betty Dibia will speak to us from where she is in South Africa, and then we'll have Imani Ode talking to us from Cross River State, as well as Idris Jibrin, who will report to us today from Kano. So all of them will be speaking to us today about what's going on, about the elections where they are. Well, we'll also turn to the social media platforms where our web team have made available for you to air your views on the program today. Well, you can tweet at us using the hashtag Nigeria2015 at Channels TV, Nigeria2015 first, following the Twitter handles you see on your screen. And then if you have further questions or comments, you can then send us an email. That will be Nigeria2015 at channelstv.com. Well, you can also send us pictures through our Eyewitness platform. And what you need to do about that is just download the Channels TV app for Android, iOS, and Windows phones from their respective stores. Thereafter, just tap the application you see on that device, follow the instructions you see there, and we'll be glad to receive them from you. Well, we also do have emergency numbers that the Office of the National Security Advisor has provided in case you spot anything going on wrong wherever you are. So you will have to call those emergency numbers that you see on the screen now. And then they also have that 20544, which is the SMS number. You can send a short text message to that number if you notice anything going on. Well, joining us tonight, we have Francis Efan, a member of the APC. And we also have Malaki Ugomadu, a rights activist and a legal practitioner. We'll also be joined on the phone by Mr. Ben Onyechere, who is a member of the PDP. Are we ready for the election? Well, that's the big question I'll put to our guests here tonight. But first, we'll look at some of the events that have occurred within that 6-week window, 5 now, maybe this last one, where after the elections had been rescheduled. Well, first and foremost, let's take you through this one. Remember, security was the main reason why that announcement happened. So INEC, at the end of the day, when the chairman of the commission made that big announcement, this is part of the text of which he says that the commission, following the advice from security, he also says the commission they are specifically concerned about the security of our ad hoc staff, who constitutes at least 600,000 young men and women. About that election, their safety is of utmost concern to them. Well, INEC eventually also did rely on Section 26, subsection 1 of the Electoral Act 2010 as amended. And then they say that that section actually says, where a date has been appointed for the holding of an election, and there is reason to believe that a serious breach of the peace is likely to occur if the election is proceeded with on that date, or it is impossible to conduct the elections as a result of natural disasters or other emergencies, the Commission may postpone the election and shall, in respect of the area or areas concerned, appoint another date for the holding of the postponed election, provided that such reason for the postponement is cogent and verifiable. So having said that about security, you also do remember that immediately after that, after a while, maybe not immediately, security also went on those areas where the insurgents were holding sway. On the 23rd of February, Major General Chris Solukola did come up with that announcement. Remember, he's the Director of Defense Information. He says, well, the military did release that video about aerial bombardments of identified targets in Goza, Burma, and Sambisa. Well, thereafter, we also did have Lieutenant General Kenneth Minima, Chief of Army Staff, saying, well, Yobe and Adamawa states have been liberated completely, and we're looking forward to reinstatement of structures of government and governance. And then he also went on to say much later that you have in Borno, there's Abadam, Calabaldi, and Goza. Those local governments are within the sight of the military, so they're really pushing hard to see how they can rid those towns of the insurgents, and then we go ahead with the elections. Well, that has to do with security, but the other matter with the preparations for the elections turned out to be the distribution of the permanent voter cards. It's been controversial. So many people have said so many things, but the chairman of the commission says time and again that all looks well.